There's some big mistakes that you can make when setting up your base in Palworld 1.0. They can be catastrophic, but if you know what to look for, you can streamline this process and get to the fun so much faster. We could have issues with the Palbox location, pals at the incorrect workstations, and wonder why nothing is actually running properly. Your early base is the foundation that either accelerates everything you do next or slows you down for the next 5 to 20 hours. So here's what you need to do right from the start. The best early base location in 1.0 is the open plains around these coordinates, near the early progression route, flat ground, trees nearby, stone visible, and an ore node within the base range. It gives you access to natural resource nodes inside your base boundary, which passively generate wood, stone, and ore without needing to build a logging site or stone pit. And 2 rules for any early base location: you must focus on flat ground and having those natural resources inside the base circle. It's important to remember that PAL AI pathing breaks on uneven terrain and raised edges, so a PAL that gets stuck trying to reach a workstation really puts a hamper on your workflow. Make sure you keep your eye out for every great eagle statue, activate those while you're exploring. They give technology points, the same currency you spend in the tech tree, so getting those early means unlocking your base structures faster. Now let's focus on those first 4 structures. The moment your Palbox is down, build these 4 before everything else, and in this order. First, your primitive workbench, already built from the quick start in most cases. This unlocks basic crafting. Second, your logging site. This assigns lumbering pals to passively harvest wood automatically. Wood is needed for almost every structure and recipe in the early game, so get this running immediately. Third, you've got your stone pit. It assigns mining pals to passively harvest stone and ore. If natural ore nodes sit inside your base boundary, your stone pit pals also mine that, so prioritize placing the stone pit where your pals can reach both the pit and natural nodes inside your base circle. Fourth is your feed box. Place food here so pals eat automatically without you needing to manually feed them. You definitely don't want those pals to stop working because they're hungry. For its location, place it between beds and the workstation. Pals won't walk across an entire base to reach a feed box in a far corner, so proximity is key. After those 4 are running, build a chest for storage, place pal beds so workers can rest, and then work through the remaining Palbox missions. The missions are the game teaching you what to build and in what order, so follow them. It's really important that you avoid a bad layout, and the reason so many players get frustrated early in Palworld. So when placing a workstation, it might sound simple, but if the arrow is pointing towards a wall or the edge of a base or something like that, the PAL won't be able to reach its working position and it's gonna stop. So keep a wide and clear path between the feed box, PAL beds, and all workstations. Pals move between sleeping, eating, and working constantly, so clutter and pals that are too large is going to completely destroy the efficiency of your base. Plus, while you're doing this, make sure you group similar stations together, put out crafting benches in one area, ranch in another, smelting another. Pals assigned to one job are going to path to the nearest available station of that type. Now, which pals to assign at these early base levels 1 to 10? These are going to be the pals that you're going to be finding in your first several hours of playing Palworld. So for woolen cloth, you've got Lamball or Malpaca. Lamball is your first ranch pal, catchable from the very start of the game near the Plateau of Beginnings. Assign it to the ranch for passive wool production. Wool converts to cloth, and cloth is needed for almost every armor recipe early on. Malpaca produces wool faster at a slightly higher level, so go for the replacement when you find one. For pal spheres and gold, choose Vixie. Assign to the ranch, and it passively digs up pal spheres, gold, and arrows while you're away. Pal spheres are gonna be your most limiting resource in the early game, so you can never have enough of these, and Vixie helps solve this automatically. Find it on the grassy plains north of the starting area. This is your most impactful early ranch assignment. Then for stone and ore, go for Cativa or Rush Ore. Cativa is your best early miner, level 2 mining, easy to catch right in the starting area. More importantly, its partner skill adds 100 carry weight when kept in your party, so use 1 Cativa in your active team for the carry bonus while catching other pals, and put a 2nd at your stone pit for mining duty. Rush Ore can be ridden and charged into stone boulders for a 500% stone efficiency bonus, so use while you're out exploring, but less relevant once your stone pit is running. For kindling, we've got Foxparks or Flambell. You need a kindling pal for your smelting furnace to process ore into ingots. Without one, ore sits in a pile doing nothing. Foxparks is the easiest obvious early kindling option, catchable in that starting area, and then Flambell is available slightly later and also produces flame organs at the ranch for crafting torches and furnace fuel. For electricity, go spark it. You're not going to need electricity for the first start stretch of the game. Power production lines are closer to that mid-game content, but once you need it, spark it is your early answer. It provides passive electric organs at the ranch that can be assigned to an electric generator, catchable near your starting area. Assign it to the ranch initially and move it to electric duty when you start building powered stations. For Aura Pal, go Woolly Pop. A lot of players miss this one. Woolly Pop's partner skill reduces hunger depletion for every pal at your base, so you don't assign it to a job. It provides the buff just by being at the base area, and that compounds across every worker every shift, so less hunger means less time at the feeding box, which means they're going to spend more time working. And don't forget about raids. Most early players focus entirely on production and ignore defenses until a raid wipes out their base and they lose practically everything they've been building. Don't be that player. In Palworld 1.0, raid difficulty scales with your actual working pal count. So every pal you add to your base workforce makes the next raid even harder. So a base with 8 workers but stick walls gets hit by a raid it probably won't survive. And 2 practical things before your first raid: build stone walls around your Palbox. The Palbox is the raid target. If it gets destroyed, your base is gone. Second, talk to the raid negotiator NPC that appears near your base. In 1.0, you can pay gold to delay or weaken incoming raids. Vixie at your ranch is generating gold passively, so let it accumulate and use it on the negotiator when a raid is incoming rather than scrambling to build defense mid-attack. Everything you're doing in this first phase of your base building is towards one goal, and that is base level 10. Base level 10 unlocks your second base slot. That second base slot changes everything. It means you can put your production base wherever is most convenient and place a dedicated mining outpost near a cluster of ore nodes separately, meaning you stop having to compromise between good building space and good resources. To reach that base level 10, complete Palbox missions. Each one asks you to build a specific structure, follow them in order. They're teaching you the technology tree in the correct sequence, and by the time you hit level 10, you'll have built your feed box, workbench, ranch, stone pit, logging site, smelting furnace, and basic crafting stations, everything you need for that functional early base. And here's some mistakes that slow a lot of people down, so make sure you're not doing these. One is placing that Palbox and not being able to move it. Scout the location with the Palbox preview active before confirming. Make sure those ore nodes, trees, and stone are all in the circle. 2, not assigning pals immediately after catching them. Make sure you get those contributions from the beginning. 3, building workstations without checking the alignment arrow. Number 4, scaling workers faster than defense. Adding a 7th or 8th base pal before having stone walls around your Palbox is inviting a raid you cannot handle, so make sure you're scaling both together. So that's your early base sorted. We're now going to level up more for what to do for more of those mid-game bases, so subscribe so you don't miss that. And if you're anywhere else in your Palworld journey, we have an entire guide series here on our YouTube, so check those out. Or if you love being part of a community, head on over to fungible.games. There you can join in the discussion of Palworld and lead your honest feedback. Until then, we'll see you in the next video.